Hi, Nancy. Good afternoon, everybody. Hi, Kathy. Welcome to day 3 of our Howling Wolf in the Moonlight. I have a couple of things I want to tell you about before we get started painting. Last time we were together, and I can't remember who mentioned it, it might have been Connie, about Munyo pastels, the little set of 64. Well, I happen to have a set of these, so I got them out to see more about them. I had intended to use them in classes, particularly at World of Color, where I could give out a set of pastels to everyone and it would be so much easier, but I never actually used them. And so when it was mentioned, I thought I would take them out and have a look at them instead of just pronouncing judgment on them. So I got them out, and here they are. Munyo makes several products, and this is a little box with 64 little sticks in it. They're about an inch long, and they're square. So I thought, well, I wonder how these would work. So I pulled out a piece of velour paper, and I was pleasantly surprised. I have not investigated whether they are light fast or if they are, what their materials are exactly, but I did see how they would perform on velour paper. So I thought I would show you. So here's my little stick. And I'm just going to put a few colors down. We don't spend much time on this. But I think they would be a wonderful choice if you wanted to just experiment with color. This one's very nice. Nice and soft. And here's another in the red category. And I'll take a blue. Let's see if we can draw a line with it. So that would be a real fun item that costs you very little money for experimenting with pastel to see if it's something you want to do. Like I said, I do not know what the quality is or if it's artist materials, artist grade, but it is cute. It's about, I think, $8, so it's certainly a bargain. Then I have another product that I highly recommend. This is also made by Munyo, and you can get it on Amazon. This is their gallery handmade soft pastels. There are 30 colors in the box, and I think it costs you about $30 to $40. It's upside down. I love these. I bought an entire set of them. I think they're wonderful. And so you get all these colors in one box, and you can experiment with them on any kind of paper. They're thick, rich color. Isn't that wild? That's pink purple. Let's use one of the blues. So they're highly pigmented. I don't know if you can see it on camera or not, but these two colors have far more pigment in them than the other pastels by Munyo. They're made in Korea. The only place, like I said, you can get sets on Amazon, but you can get all of them at Jerry's Artorama, and Jerry will run good sales on them. So that's just for your information, if you want to experiment with pastels and not spend too much money. Now, the first thing we're going to do before we finish watching or finish working on our wolf is I'm going to do a couple of critique type things. Really, how can I improve my painting kind of thing? So I'm going to pull my camera down a little bit so you can see. And I picked the first two people that sent me their paintings. And I printed them off, and I'm going to color right on top of them. So, and both of them have done an excellent job. I'm going to tape this down. And I'll show you what I suggest. And it presents some pretty common themes I see in my workshop. When we work and we're doing fur, what happens is it begins to expand and the animal ends up bigger than you really want him to be. And this is what's happened here. He's gotten bigger through here and a little bit over here. So my advice would be to take a background color. And I'm going to color right on the paper. And I would go in and make him smaller. In this area. And I would probably do the same over here. And this happens to a lot of people. So that's what I would do. So once, let me see if I can. Let me just color around this. So now that he's smaller, you'll be able to pastels don't work too good on printer paper, just so you know. Then that would help you to reshape the body. And that gives a more pleasing look to the wolf. Then the other area is the legs. Let me address that. I'm going to move the camera. Now she's included her legs, but they've gotten a little long. So what I would do is take some background color, some of our gray, and I would just trim them down a little bit. Like so. I wouldn't include all of the leg because we're going to blend this, we're going to resolve this background before we leave today. We're actually going to put background all around the bottom edges of the wolf and just leave the top edge of the legs. I hope that makes sense. So when we do this, we just want this top edge and maybe some of the other edge, but not so much. Let me darken this so you can see it better. So this is a good way to correct the body. And then I can go back out and we can add the finished hairs. Okay. And that's all I would suggest. The moon is wonderful, the face is wonderful, and we're going to finish the rest of the hairs today. Okay? Let me get my cloth here. So let's go on to the next one. There's another brave person has sent me their picture. I think this one is very nice as well. The background looks very nice. And so does her wolf. Now, she has the same potential as our other brave soul, as she adds hair for the wolf's body to grow too big. So I would just encourage her to be careful to not let that happen. Up here, it's gotten a little big, but otherwise fine. And the same over here. I might add a little more purple, but that's really your choice as to how much or how little background you want to add. And this, she's got a nice blend of dark and medium tone hairs. And so when we go to add the lighter hairs on top, I think it's going to be beautiful. And then we'll just finish off the bottom. When we get towards the end of class today, and I love the moon. It looks great. I might add a little more red down at this bottom of this edge. If you don't have the red, that's okay too. I think it looks really pretty. She's done a nice job. Both of them have. So I'm glad to see that you guys are having fun with this and doing such a great job. This is really nice back here. Nice, nice even background color. Y'all are doing good. I'll give you A pluses. Let me find mine. Okay, well, let's see. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. We're going to work on this ear in this area. We've finished this area. So I want to concentrate through here. And what we do through here, we will do all the way down. So let me tape down my paper so it doesn't move. Now, when we stopped on Wednesday, we had finished this area of the wolf, and we were starting to work up this way. I'm going to try to make things as simple as I can. I'm going to outline his eye with my black new pastel. Let me get my paper to rest my hand on. I want to make this as dark as I can. And I think painting is about making adjustments. I'm going to add a little bit of brown right here at the edge of the ear, because my picture needs it. Your picture may not need it. But we're going to work in this area. For the backlit area, all the way around the wolf, we're going to use this Caran Dash 011. If you don't have that and you have a 276, we're going to use that as well. But since this is a pencil, you can use this. If you don't have it, use the Conte 47. So I'm going to draw out these bright hairs. Got my reference photo handy. And if I had if this is what I had, I would use probably the corner of this. But if you only have one, that's all you need. And this would be the one to have. Now this edge is dark, so I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use my 229 black to make sure that this edge and a little bit of 353. Top of the eye, it's very bright. So I can use the corner of my 276. Or I can use this pencil. And then I'm going to put in some bright hair right under the eye. And blend a little bit of 353 and a little bit of 229, just slightly. That was my tape, excuse me. Now I'm going to take my Conte stick and start adding little tiny hairs, and they get longer down into the face, and we're going in the direction that the hair grows. Now, if you're not comfortable using this stick, you can use your Carbothello 720 light gray pencil. To add little short hairs, and use your black charcoal pencil to blend in a few dark ones. And this, I got a little too dark, so I'm going to make it a little lighter up here. Then I'm going back to my Conte stick. And add hairs. It curves around the shape of his face. And I think mine needs a little more dark in here. Just a few little dark hairs. Yours may not need them. When I teach, I would rather tell you not just use this color, but why am I using this color? And what is the point of using a particular color or doing something? So that's what I'm trying to do, is to really tell you why I make this choice, so that when you paint, it will help you to paint your pictures. I don't need to cover every inch of the surface because we have those underlayers that are showing through. Sharpen my stick back up. Now right in here, I noticed on my reference photo, the hairs are very white. So I'm going to add more white. I think it catches more light in this area. I also think that there's a bone here, which makes this part of the face come forward a little bit. So I'm going to add a little more white there. Now I'm going to stop working on that area for a minute, and I'm going to work over here. I want to do little hairs in this area. They're short. They kind of go in a lot of directions. So I can use this. I can use the corner of my Conte stick to make little tiny hairs. Or if you'd rather, you can use one of your pencils, your gray pencil. This is the gray one, or you could use the white one. So whatever works best for you.
Linda's having problems hearing the video.
Okay. Make sure my sound is turned up all the way. Is anybody, Linda's having trouble hearing me. Is anybody else having problems? So we can make sure that everything's working right. Okay. Now I can also take my black, if I need more black, and add that. Now let's work on the ear. I'm going to, because the ear, I'm going to use the pastel. This time I'm going to use the 276 because it's softer and it creates a fluffy look. And I want my ear to look fluffy. I'm using the edge. I'm pushing kind of hard so that I get that fluffy look that I want. Now inside the ear, I'm going to use my white. And you can also use your gray pencil. This time I'm using the 700, which is a light gray. Or you can use your white pastel pencil. I don't want to use the Caran d'Ache here because it's yellow and I don't want any yellow in here. Then on the edge of the ear, the hair grows this way. So I'm going to have to turn my hand. And I've got some little white specks that fell off on my paper, so I'm going to whisk those away. Now on the outside edge, I'm going to use the gray pastel pencil to get little tiny hairs. And on the outside edge, I'm going to use the Caran d'Ache to make a bright backlit edge. And then I'm going to take my black new pastel and the point of it, add a little black around the ear and a little black on the inside tip of the ear. And I'm going to add a little bit of brown right on the edge. Now I'm going to add another color. It's a very hard color. It's 233 Raw Sienna. We're going to use it on the bottom of the wolf's ear are a lot of little hairs, and we're going to use this. I'm going to start on this edge. And it's just a beautiful gold color. Add a few more hairs. And there we go. Okay. So it's not dark enough in here. So I'm going to go back with my 229 and make it a little darker. And I believe that does it for the ear. Now I want to work across this way. So I've got my white. I'm going to come back to the chin, and I'm going to keep adding hair. Now as we work to this outside edge, this is the backlit edge, I'm going to switch to the 233.
Diane, Linda, and Milton can't get the video to play.
Okay, well, shall I stop and start over?
Maybe so.
Okay, guys, seems like we have some trouble with the video. I'm going to, although who knows with technology, I'm going to stop and restart the video. So